Hello students, welcome to physics class. Myself is Mr. S. Khan and CMS Jhabua. Today we are going to start alternating current chapter number 7. As in last lecture we have already discussed about AC generator and we have seen the expression for the EMF. Induced EMF E is equal to E naught sin omega t. That is the variable EMF we have got. E naught is the peak value of EMF, omega t. We can see that omega is the angular frequency of the rotating coil between the uniform magnetic field, and when the circuit is complete in generator we have seen that we can get the current, AC current, alternating current, that is said to be the variable current, whose expression is given by I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Today we are going to discuss about the alternating current in detail. What do we understand by alternating current? So we can say that the current whose magnitude and whose polarity changes periodically with time, then such type of current is said to be alternating current. This type of current I is equal to I naught sin omega t, where I naught is the peak value of current, okay, and we are going to discuss about it. Let us see the wave diagram for the alternating current. Here we can see the I naught and minus I naught, these are the in one direction and in opposite direction, okay, plus and minus I naught we have denoted it, and we can see that it begins with 0 value with time t is equal to 0. After t by 4 times the magnitude of current become maximum I naught, then after t by 2 time it becomes 0 again. Then after 3t by 4 time means fixed interval of time, we can see that its magnitude become minus I naught. Then at t time means in complete one cycle, okay, we can get the again 0 value of current. So this type of current is oscillating current, it oscillates, okay, and with respect to time, okay, and we can see the different phases also, different angles, at different angles there are different values of alternating current. So let us go through it one by one. Sinusoidal, this type of wave is generally called as the sinusoidal wave, as already we have discussed in last lecture with respect to EMF, induced EMF, we have seen that, okay. I is equal to I naught sin omega t, where equation number 1, if we suppose that I naught is the peak value of current, omega is the angular velocity, and if we convert this angular velocity omega, it can also be written as 2 pi by capital T, where capital T is considered as the time period. 2 pi nu, it can be written as omega is equal to 2 pi nu also, where nu is said to be the frequency, okay, it is also called as the driving frequency of current. Again if we write the same alternate current, then alternate voltage or EMF also, AC voltage means in terms of alternating voltage or EMF also. So we have just seen that the EMF, alternating EMF is denoted by E is equal to E naught sin omega t. Similarly voltage also we can denote same way by V is equal to V naught sin omega t. This is supposed to be equation number 1, and where V naught is said to be the maximum value or peak value of voltage, okay. Let us see now how do we represent, how do we denote the alternating source. Whenever the alternating current is applied to a particular circuit, then we have to use a symbol for alternating current, and this curved line in circle is the symbol for the alternating current. Whenever we try to represent, we denote the alternating current in circuit, we use this symbol, okay. This is the symbol of alternating current. As we use the direct supply source, we just put the sign of battery or cell there for the direct current, and for alternating current we use this type of symbol. What are the advantages of alternating current? So let us go through that. Generation, transmission and distribution of AC is more economical, means it is very less costly. Second, alternating voltage can be step down or step up also. A step down means by using the transformer we can increase the voltage or decrease the voltage also according to our convenience. Number 3, AC alternating current can reach to a distant places without much loss of electric power, because it is oscillating current, it does not remain in the same direction but it oscillates, due to which the conductor through which it supplies, that it gets less heat, okay, and due to this there is a less electric loss of electric power in the form of energy, means there is a less loss of energy also. AC is also convertible with DC. We can use rectifier to convert the alternating current to direct current also, okay. AC machines are small size and longer life, and it is also easy to use. What are disadvantages? Let us go through them one by one. AC can be more dangerous than DC. Without maximum value of DC is root 2 times the effective value of it. Means suppose that 220 volt of voltage is there, household we can say that 220 root 2, it will be the peak value of voltage which is used in our household. It can become 311 volt. So, peak value of 220 volt that we get in our houses, okay, in domestic uses, it can become 311 volt, that is the peak value of voltage. So, it is considered to be a dangerous. AC in a wire is not uniformly distributed throughout its cross section because its value changes with time continuously. Marking on the scales of AC meters are not uniform or equivalent for small measurements. These are certain disadvantages of alternate currents. Now, we are going, suppose that measurement of alternate current, how to measure the alternate current? We cannot measure like this because the value of alternate current is continuously changes with time, okay. After a fixed interval of time, it reaches to 0, then become maximum in one direction, then again become 0, then again become maximum in opposite direction, then it becomes 0. So, it is very difficult to measure the AC current. So, in order to measure the AC current, we can just alternating current, we compare it with the direct current, DC current, and we use certain method to measure it. In order to take out the average value or mean value of alternate current, we have to compare it with the direct current. So, we can use two types of methods generally, component methods are there and effective methods are there. What do we understand by component method? We can say that I is equal to NEA V of D, expression we have seen in current electricity in chapter number 3, that is number of charges are there. This is said to be the component current. We cannot count the number of charges flowing through AC. So, component method will not work. Here in effective method, so what is the effect? So, in case of effective method, we can compare the work done by AC and DC. What is the effect by doing this type of work in fixed interval of time or in a fixed cycle of AC. This much work is done by AC, we can compare their work also. We can compare the heat produces from AC and DC in fixed interval of time, that is also effective method. We can compare that, suppose that how many charges are sent by AC current in half cycle of it, this much charges, the same amount of charges in a fixed interval of charges, interval of time can be sent by DC current. When we compare these two, we will be able to measure the mean or average current, okay. So, here we are going to use the effective method to measure the mean or average value of alternate current. Let us try to take out the mean or average value of alternating current. Here, how do we define the mean or average value of alternating current? We can say that average value of alternating current is that value of steady current which sends the same amount of charge through a circuit in a certain interval of time as is sent by the alternating current through the same circuit in half cycle. So, we are comparing the number of charges sent by both DC and AC, okay, and here we are using the time should be same taken by both, current should be same, the time interval should be same, plus in the same circuit they are sending there, and we are using the half cycle of alternating current, okay. In half cycle of alternating current, it is compared with the DC here. So, let us now try to take out the value of it. If we consider this is the definition of mean or average value of alternating current, okay. Let us take that, let an alternating current be represented by I already I given you the expression for it. I is equal to I naught sin omega t. Let us suppose equation number 1, this one is the charge sent by alternating current in I in time dt. Suppose that in dt time, how much charges are sent by alternating current in half cycle? We suppose that dq charges are sent, okay, in time dt time, small time dt. So charge according to the definition of current, I is equal to charge per unit time, I is equal to q upon t. Therefore, we can also write that q is equal to t into I, means time into current. Similarly, we are using the same expression here. Small dq is equal to I into dt. Now, if we see that from equation number 1, the value of I is given as I naught sin omega t. So, we can place the value of I, okay, here in this same expression there. This expression will become dq is equal to I dt, which is further equal to I naught sin omega t dt, okay. Now, therefore, the charges are sent by AC in first half cycle. So, first half cycle, how much time it takes in completing the first half cycle of alternating current? If the current at initial stage, it begins with 0 time t is equal to 0, it reaches to t by 4 time at peak value, that is 9 pi by 2, okay, by making pi by 2 angle there. And if after just t by 4 times, or when the time become t by 2, again it come back to the 0 position, means the current becomes 0. So, this is said to be the half cycle of AC. Okay, just now I have shown you the wave diagram of it. So, half cycle is time when the time t is equal to 0 to time t by 2. Up to t by 2 time, there is a half cycle of AC current. So, we are considering the range or the limit for the time is 0 to t by 2, capital T by 2. When we integrate this equation dq is equal to I naught sin omega t dt, by putting this limits time 0 to t by 2, what do we get? Let us see now here. Integrating dq, integration dq is equal to 0 to t by 2 time I naught sin omega t. Again, when we integrate this dq, dq become q, okay, integration of dq is q here. Now, here I naught is the peak value of current is supposed to be constant term here. So, we can take it out and integration 0 to t by 2 sin omega t dt. We know that the integration of sin omega t is minus cos omega t, but further on integrating omega t, it will become cos omega t upon omega, the integration of that is minus cos omega t upon omega. So, with negative sign, the integration of sin omega t, we can get minus cos omega t upon omega. The limits are already here 0 to time t by 2. We take this I naught upon omega out, and with negative sign is also out from the bracket. What do we get? What is there inside the bracket? Cos omega t, limit 0 to time t by 2. Okay. Again, we can see here, when we place the value of omega, omega is the angular velocity. Okay. So, if we place the value omega is equal to 2 pi by capital T here. So, we have placed here value. Now, here also in bracket, in place of omega, we have placed the value of omega 2 pi by capital T here. Now, we have to suppose apply the limits in the bracket there. So, outside the bracket, we can get here minus I naught capital T upon 2 pi, and in bracket we get here cos 2 pi capital T into capital T by 2, and minus again when we apply the lower limit. So, here lower limit is 0. So, we can see that this T is cancelled by T and this 2 is cancelled by 2. So, what do we get? Cos pi minus cos 0. So, in bracket we are getting the value here cos pi minus cos 0. Outside the bracket, what do we have? Q is equal to minus I naught capital T upon 2 pi. Inside the bracket, we got here cos pi minus cos 0. What is the value of cos pi? Cos 180 degree is equal to minus 1. Cos 0 is equal to 1. So, we place the value. Okay, here in bracket we can get minus 1 minus 1. It will become minus 2. This minus will come out and this minus will become plus. So, what do we get here? And 2 is cancelled by 2. So, ultimately we get here Q is equal to I naught capital T upon pi. This is supposed to be the first equation now. So, we have taken out the value of charge according to the alternate current in half cycle of alternate current, and according to the definition of direct mean average value of alternate current, we have compared it with the direct current. We can say that I average can be written as, over the half cycle of alternate current can be written as Q is equal to I average into capital T by 2. Let us suppose equation number 2. So, from the definition, these both charges which are sent by the alternate current and direct current are same. Comparing equation 1 and 2, we can place the value here in LHS and RHS. So, what do we get here from equation 1 and 2? I average into T by 2 is equal to I naught capital T by pi. Capital T is cancelled by capital T. We get I average or mean value of alternate current is equal to 2 into I naught upon pi. By solving it, we can get 0.637 into I naught. This is the average value of alternate current. So, this is the required expression for the mean value of alternate current. Okay. So, but this magnitude of alternate current average value, one times it becomes plus 0.637 and one time it becomes minus 0.637 in one half cycle, or in one complete cycle it becomes one times positive and one time it becomes negative. Now, next topic is root mean square value, RMS value, and this type of alternating current, it is also called as the effective value of alternating current. It is also called as the virtual current, virtual value of alternating current. So, we can denote alternating current by three terms: RMS, root mean square value, effective value or virtual value. Let us go through that. We are going to derive the expression for the root mean square value of alternate current. How do we define that? According to it, again here we have compared the alternating current with the direct current, and we have written a definition for the root mean square value of heat by the effective method. Means the heat produces by both, by direct current and by alternate current in the fixed interval of time in a particular circuit. Okay, both are equal. So, let us see the definition. Root mean square value of AC is defined as that steady current which produces the same amount of heat in a conductor in a certain time interval as is produced by the alternating current in the same conductor during the time period capital T. Means the time period here taken in this case is capital T, means there is a complete full cycle of alternating current, one complete cycle of alternating current, that is capital T complete time period T we have taken here. So, this is the definition of root mean square value. In this way we can define that, okay, by comparing it with steady current or direct current. This type of current is represented by, we can represent by I RMS, we can denote it by I effective also, we can denote it by I virtual also, or I also. So, this type of current is said to be the effective current. Let us go through the derivation. How do we derive it? Again, let us suppose that alternating current I is equal to I naught sin omega t, where I naught is the peak value of current. Okay, it is flowing through a conductor whose resistance is capital R and time dt. Okay, so alternating current flow through a conductor of resistance capital R for dt time, small dt time there. Let us consider that the heat produced in the conductor, when the current flows through a conductor, the heat produced in dt time will be how much? We consider that, we suppose that dH is equal to I square R dt is heat produced in a conductor there. Okay. Now there here the value of I is I naught sin omega t. In place of I square we have placed the value I naught sin omega t. This expression become I naught square sin square omega t into R dt. This is the required expression. When we take out the complete terms out here, okay, we have seen that the term becomes I naught square R sin square omega t dt. So, here dH is equal to heat produced in dt time is equal to I naught square R sin square omega t dt. Now, if we want to take out the total heat produced in a conductor when the current flows in complete cycle, means current flows through a conductor in a complete time period capital T. So, here the limit becomes now here when the time t is equal to 0 and when the time small t is equal to capital T. So, there are the limit for this. So, in order to take out the total heat produced in a conductor from time t is equal to 0 to capital T, we have to integrate the above equations, okay, by applying this limits. So, let us integrate the above equation. Integrating the above equation, integration dH is equal to 0 to t integration I naught square r sin square omega t dt. Okay. Integration of dH is h, where is heat produced, and here we take out this I naught square r as a constant term out. Okay. It is not the function of time t, and sin square omega t is the function of time t there. So, we have to integrate this sin square omega t dt. Now, by using the formula from the trigonometry, sin square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2, we have written this expression sin square omega t is equal to how much? 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2. Okay. And we place the value of sin square omega t here in the above equation here in case of integration. So, again the above equation become h is equal to I naught square r time integration 0 to capital T 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2 dt. Now, this one 2 is again taken out, the above expression becomes I naught square r by 2. Integrating this complete terms with respect to time dt here, what do we get here? Separately we are going to integrate 0 to time t 1 dt minus 0 to time t cos 2 omega t dt. So, 1 dt is t here, the result for the integration of 1 dt is t here, limits are applied 0 to capital T. Similarly, when we integrate this cos 2 omega t dt here, the integration of cos 2 omega t is sin omega t 2 omega t upon 2 omega. Okay. We have written here, and limits are applied 0 to t. Now, when we apply the limits in the bracket here, time capital T minus time 0 to source t minus 0 minus this 1 upon 2 omega is taken out. Again, in case of sin 2 omega, in place of omega we have placed the value of omega 2 pi by capital T into small t, and then we apply the limits here. So, limits are applied in place of small t, capital T is written and minus sin 0. So, when t is cancelled by t, this angle of sine will become 2 into 2 pi, that is 4 pi, and here it will become sin 0. In both conditions we know that sin 360 degree or sin 0 degree, its value is equal to 0 there. We have placed the 0 value here in bracket, this complete bracket will become 0. What do we get? Only capital T here. So, above expression this heat produced H is equal to, it becomes H is equal to I naught square R by 2 into capital T. This is supposed to be equation number 1. By the definition of root mean square value of alternate current comparing with direct current, if we write the heat produced by both, we can write this expression H is equal to I square RMS into RT. This is supposed to be equation number 2. Comparing both equation 1 and 2, LHS sides are equal, RHS sides are compared here. When we compare this, we can see that here RT and RT can be cancelled, and here I square RMS, and what do we get? I naught square upon 2, and if we take out the square root value, so ultimately what do we get? I RMS means root mean square value of alternate current is equal to I naught upon root 2, which will become 0.707 into I naught. This is supposed to be the root mean square value of alternate current. Similarly, in case of voltage also, alternating voltage or alternating EMF also can be written as E RMS is equal to E naught upon root 2 or V RMS is equal to V naught upon root 2, which can be further written as 0.707 into V naught. So, this is about root mean square value of current, alternating current and voltage. Let us come to the next topic. Our next topic is phase or phasor diagram. What do we understand by phasor diagram? Then phasor diagram is made between the current and the voltage. Okay, we can see here the phasor diagram are the representation of both voltage and current, their relationship in AC circuit. Phasor is a vector capable of rotating about origin with angular velocity omega. Okay, if it rotates in time t with angular velocity omega and making certain angle theta there, so here the theta will become omega t. Similarly, the vertical component of phasor will represent sinusoidal varying quantity. Just now we have seen the wave diagram of current, alternating current, and in last lecture we have seen the wave diagram of alternating EMF also. Okay, same thing. Considering V is equal to Vm sin omega t, Vm means V maximum, that is V naught sin omega t, then the vertical component represent the instantaneous value of voltage. Magnitude or length of the phasor is the peak value that instant of time. If the magnitude means length of the vector shown which is represented in terms of voltage is larger, it means that its magnitude is larger than current. Okay, so this is about phasor diagram. We can just denote draw the phasor diagram like this. Okay, this V naught means the peak value of voltage making omega t angle with the horizontal component here. It can rotate like this, okay, with time. When it reaches to this value here, it will become peak value V naught here, okay, by making 90 degree angle here, means theta will become 90 degree, means pi by 2. So that phase is said to be the pi by 2 phase. We can compare the circular motion of a particular particle and we can just try to understand the wave formed by the voltage or current here. So, if we consider voltage EMF, okay, here if it makes omega t in circular, this is circle here, omega t at certain instant of time t here. So, phase made by voltage here is omega t. When it reaches to here, that is 90, okay, 90 degree pi by 2. The time start from here, time t is equal to 0. Here time will become t by 4. So, and the phase made by the EMF will become pi by 2. So, here EMF value will be maximum, that is the positive value of EMF E naught. Okay, we can consider it V naught also for voltage. When it comes back here and move in a circle like this and reaches from 90 degree to 180 degree here, okay, that is pi, phase made by this particular voltage is pi here, time taken by voltage to come from this position to this position will be t by 4, then t by 4 is added here, t by 2 time. So, here the value of EMF will become 0 here. So, one time it reaches to maximum peak value, then here it becomes 0. Again when it reaches here by making 270 degree phase here, means 3, okay, by 2 pi here. So, we can see here the 270 degree here minus E naught value we can get, the maximum value we can get here of EMF, but in opposite direction. And similarly when it reaches to this position, the total phase made by the EMF will be 360 degree, that is 2 pi only, and the time will taken by the phase will become capital T, that is considered to be time period here. Okay, so here at this position again its value becomes 0, EMF value will become 0. So, we can see that in case of circular motion of EMF, the EMF will oscillate here, it becomes positive in one direction, then 0, then negative in one direction, then 0. Same thing we can see in wave diagram also here, 0 position here when time t is equal to 0, phase is 0 here, when it reaches to here, time is t by 4, phase made by the EMF is pi by 2 and the value magnitude will become plus E naught. When it reaches to here, time will become t by 2, phase made by will become pi 180 degree, when magnitude will become 0. Again here 3, okay, 270 degree here, okay, time will become 3t by 4 here, and here again its value will become minus E naught in opposite direction. When it reaches to here in this position here, so we can say that 2 pi phase is there, total time capital T is there, and its value again become 0. So, in this way this is the wave diagram, in this way the EMF or alternating current or alternating EMF will oscillate. We can consider the difference between the phase angle between this voltage and current is said to be the phase difference, okay, and how much phase is met, we can try to consider that sometimes current or EMF, there is a difference between the phase made by the EMF, it will be ahead of current by 90 degree here. Okay. So, when it is here, V naught is this one and I naught is this one, means here suppose that if we suppose that there is a position of I naught here in this particular phase here. So, angle between the V naught and I naught will become 90 degree. So, there is a phase difference between V naught and I naught, and we can say that V naught is 90 degree ahead of current I naught. Similarly, suppose that if this is the position of V naught and current we find here. So, in this position, what do we say, that if the voltage keeps on increasing, current value keeps on decreasing like this, it will move like this. Okay. Suppose that current is here, okay, and V naught is here and I naught is here. So, there is again difference between the V naught and I naught is 90 degree. Now, we can say that there is a phase difference between V naught and I naught, but 90 degree phase difference, but here the current is leading by 90 degree phase and voltage is lagging by 90 degree phase. First current will reaches and try to become 0, when current decreases the voltage keeps on increasing. So, in this way we can consider the phase difference between the voltage and current. Okay. Let us take next topic now. Now, here when the single component of electrical circuit, let us consider resistor, is attached with alternating supply, AC supply here R. Suppose that this is the circuit diagram of it. When alternating source is connected here and resistor only connected here at two terminals here, the potential will develop here, but here overall potential difference or voltage, we can see that applied voltage is considered to be V is equal to V naught sin omega t here in case of resistor. Only resistor is connected with alternating source. Okay. What expression we can get and what is the result we get in case of resistor? Expression for the applied voltage is V is equal to V naught sin omega t, where V naught is the peak value of voltage. Let I be the current in the circuit at any time instant t. By Ohm's law, we can say that V is equal to IR. So, we can say that I is equal to V upon R, or in place of V naught sin omega t upon R, we can write here. Okay. If we suppose that the expression for the alternating current is I is equal to I naught sin omega t, similarly, we can say that I naught is equal to V naught upon R, which is the peak value of alternating current. Okay. So, if we plot a graph between I and V here, so we can see that here there is no phase difference, and if we compare both expressions, see that equation number 1 sin omega t, theta angle is omega t here, and in case of current sin omega t, same phases, means current and voltage both are at the same phases, means there is no phase difference between current and voltage, and we can denote this both current and voltage in case of resistor. When resistor is attached with the AC source, we can see here this is the peak value of voltage at pi by 2 phase, and this is the peak value of current I naught at pi by 2 phase, time is t by 4. Both are coming and becoming 0 here. Okay. Again we can see that at 270 degree here phase, 3t by 4 time, we can see the peak value of voltage and peak value of current here. Again it reaches to 0 here, capital T time. This is the complete cycle, and this is the wave diagram when there is no phase difference between voltage and current if resistor is attached with AC supply. Okay. The direction will be same, they are on the same base, voltage and current both. We can denote it by by phasor diagram also. You can see that phasor diagram. Okay. This is the magnitude of current which is lesser than V naught, because already when the EMF is set up, voltage is set up, then only the current start flowing there. So, magnitude of current is always represented by lesser magnitude I naught and V naught, both are at the same phase, they are making omega t. This is the phasor diagram of V naught and I naught. So, what is the opposition created in this case? So, in order to take out the opposition created in this case, we can say that V naught here V naught upon R, if we just divide the expression number 1 by capital R resistors which is attached in the circuit whose resistance is capital R, V by R is equal to V naught upon R, here it will become I and here it will become V naught upon R. So, I is equal to V naught upon R means I naught is equal to V naught upon R is equal to I naught, peak value, okay, and we can get V naught upon R V naught upon I naught is equal to capital R. So, capital R is the opposition created in the circuit, and okay, we can say that this is opposition created by resistance in the circuit, okay, and we can call this type of circuit as a resistive circuit. Let us take another type. Suppose that only inductor or coil is attached in an AC supply. So, we know that when AC supply inductor is attached with it, V is equal to V naught sin omega t is the voltage set up here at the terminals of AC here, and we can say that when current start flowing after setting up the voltage potential difference, current start flowing through the coil and induced EMF takes place in the coil which opposes the coming current there, and that induced EMF by the Faraday's law we can say that, or by the self induction we can say that E is equal to minus L di by dt. This is the expression for that. But the direction of applied EMF and applied induced current are opposite to each other. So, if we want to try to take out the expression for it, we can write here V as voltage here. So, V is equal to minus L di by dt. Therefore, applied voltage will become negative of this in opposite direction. We can write applied voltage V is equal to L di by dt. Here let us suppose equation is V is equal to V naught sin omega t, induced EMF is E is equal to minus L di by dt. As there is no potential drop across the circuit, so we can say that V will become, means applied voltage will become L di by dt, or we can take it as like this, di by dt is equal to V upon L. Now, using equation number 1 here, since value of V is equal to V naught sin omega t we can place here in place of V. So, here expression di by dt will become V naught upon L sin omega t. By cross multiplying this dt to this side, what do we get? Di is equal to V naught upon L sin omega t dt. This is supposed to be equation number 2. Integrating both sides here, when we integrate here we can say that di, integrating di, and here integration of this term. So, V naught upon L is taken out here outside, and integration of sin omega t dt here. Integration of di will give us I, that is current, and we can get here V naught upon L in bracket minus cos omega t upon omega. Okay. If we take this omega out, what do we get? V naught upon L omega minus cos omega t, and if we want to write this cos theta in terms of sin theta, because earlier in case of voltage we have got V is equal to V naught sin omega t here. So, or we here also we want to convert this cos in terms of sin. If we want to convert this in terms of sin, minus cos theta will become sin theta minus 90 degree. Okay. So, we place this value in place of this. What do we get here? We get here, after placing this value, the value of current I will become V naught upon L omega. In place of V naught upon L omega, I naught if we place here, the above expression will become I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus pi by 2. This is supposed to be equation number 3. From equation 1 and 3, if we compare both expression there, first equation is V is equal to V naught sin omega t, and third equation is I is equal to I naught sin omega t minus 90 degree. It means that here current is behind by 90 degree to EMF when we compare both expression. By this expression we can say that the current lags behind by voltage by 90 degree, and EMF or voltage is leading by current by 90 degree. We can show it by wave diagram also. Okay, current is ahead here, then it becomes 0, then here current is ahead, then by 90 degree, then here EMF with voltage is 0. When current becomes 0, voltage become 90. Okay. Similarly, this is the wave diagram and this is the phasor diagram here. This is the voltage and this is current 90 degree, current is behind by 90 degree. We can show it by phase. Inductive reactance, opposition created in this type of circuit. Okay. So, inductive reactant is the effective opposition offered by the inductor to the flow of circuit current in the circuit there, and this is said to be the inductive reactance, we denote it by XL. How do we? When we compare expression there by maximum voltage and maximum current, V naught upon I naught will become R in above circuit there of resistor. Similarly, if we compare V naught upon I naught from the above equation, we can get L omega, and L omega is said to be the opposition in case of inductor, and L omega is also equal to X of L, where X of L is called as the inductive reactance. We include the opposition offered by L omega in circuit, thus XL is equal to L omega. We can write in terms of frequency also 2 pi omega. Here for DC, suppose that angular frequency, okay, angular velocity, angular frequency in terms of DC is equal to 0. We consider omega is equal to 0 here. Okay. So, opposition here if we place 0 value of omega, means here if we place value 0, it means that omega is 0. So, XL is equal to 0. If 0 opposition is there in case of DC, when DC flows through inductor, there is no opposition offered in case of DC direct current, because there is no frequency, okay, angular frequency there in case of DC. So, 0 opposition means the current directly flows through inductor. In case of AC, there is some finite frequency is there, means omega value is finite there. If we place the value of omega here finite, so we can say that there is some opposition created in case of AC current when AC pass through the inductor, means opposition, it opposes the AC current, okay, and there is no opposition created for DC current in case of inductor. Let us take the another type of circuit, only capacitor. When the capacitor is connected with the alternating source, we say that here this is supposed to be capacitor, it is connected with alternating source, and the potential or the voltage potential difference created by the expression V is equal to V naught sin omega t here. Alternating source connected to it, we say that alternating voltage apply across the capacitor is given by this expression. This is supposed to be equation number 1. Let Q be the charge on the capacitor at any instant, then the potential difference across the capacitor is said to be V is equal to Q by C, because this Q charge is equal to C into V, okay, and capacitance is also considered to be like this. C is said to be the capacitance, Q is the charge and V is the potential difference. Q is equal to CV. V of C is equal to E, or V of Q by C is equal to V, and value of V is equal to V naught sin omega t. Q is equal to V naught C sin omega t. When we differentiate this expression here with respect to time t, we can get dq by dt is equal to d by dt of C V naught sin omega t. If we take out C V naught sin omega t as constant term out there, differentiation of dq by dt gives us I here, and V naught C is taken out, then the differentiation of sin omega t is cos omega t into omega. So, already omega is there. So, we can get here I is equal to V naught C omega into cos omega t. We want to write this term of cos omega t in terms of sine. So, we know that sin theta cos theta is equal to sin 90 plus theta. Okay. So, we can write in place of cos omega t is sin omega t plus 90 degree, means pi by 2. We have placed here the value I is equal to V naught cos omega sin omega t plus pi by 2. For maximum value of current sin, suppose that if you want to draw out the maximum current, the value of sin theta should be equal to 1, means this omega t plus pi by 2 should be equal to 1. If we place one value here, this current will become the maximum current, and maximum current will be represented by or denoted by I naught. So, we call it I naught is equal to V naught C omega. This is supposed to be equation number 1. We place the same value in equation above equation. What do we get? I is equal to I naught sin omega t plus pi by 2. which is supposed to be equation number 3 here. So, if we compare equation 3 and equation 1 is V is equal to V naught sin omega t. Here we can say that there is plus 90 degree there. It means that current is leading voltage by 90 degree phase and voltage is lagging here current by 90 degree phase. Okay. If you want to write take out the opposition, so we can just convert this V naught upon I naught is equal to 1 upon C omega. So, 1 upon C omega will be the opposition offered in this particular circuit and 1 upon C omega is said to be X of C and this X of C is called as the capacitive reactance. We call it capacitive reactance in case of capacitor when capacitor is attached with alternating current. This is the wave diagram and this is the phasor diagram of it. If we apply this for DC and AC in case of capacitive reactance, for DC omega is equal to 0, angular frequency is equal to 0, we place the value here 0. So, the term Xc will become infinite, means the opposition created in this particular circuit will be infinite. When an infinite opposition is there, so DC current is blocked by capacitor. It means that when capacitor is attached with the alternating source, then it will block the direct current. Means in this type of circuit here direct current is blocked for the capacitive reactance. For AC, okay, omega is finite, there is finite angular frequency and there is finite frequency therefore alternating current. So, if we place here finite value, a finite value is there, if larger value is there, there is a small value of opposition X of C. If there is a small opposition is there, so in case of AC, okay, when AC passes through capacitor in this circuit there, then this capacitor will allow, okay, that small opposition is created only and it will allow the AC current to pass through. That is all for this topic. We will continue the next topics in next lecture. Till then all of you, goodbye.